Hi, I'm Alex from Southern Ukulele Store. I came in this morning to film a video on the Ohana USA models. We had a big delivery of them come in earlier on in the month, and I've been feeling a lot of pressure, wanting to feature all these different things and try and make a video that was interesting and, didn't feel too overly long, but I had so much to talk about. And while I was filming it, I looked up at the wall and I saw 3 Ohana tenors out on display that were much more affordable, Chinese-made Ohana, the ukulele, like the core of what that company is. And I thought, I've not featured those ukuleles in several years, and they're so good, and they deserve to be featured. So I've taken a break from filming a different video to come and film another video on the same company, but different ukuleles. Is that making sense? You follow me? Okay, let's have a listen to the TK39. First up today is the Ohana TK39. The TK39 is all solid mahogany, front, back and sides. It has some of my favourite cosmetic trim on any ukulele though. This ukulele has a maple strip here, like a traditional Martin 3K, I think, maybe. Old Martin's not my best thing, but you know what I'm trying to say. So a traditional Martin that you would have seen kind of late 1920s deluxe model. It has front binding, which is a 5-ply, like a really thick black and white binding with maple trim on the sides. And that binding extends to the back as well, although it is a 3-ply binding on the back if you're interested. So it's a little bit thinner, a little bit less ostentatious. You have a very, very lovely, is it wood? I can't tell. I think it's maple and plastic rosette. It doesn't look like plastic, but it's a really beautiful kind of optical illusion for a rosette. Indian rosewood fingerboard and bridge, but you have the twin dots like a vintage Martin as well, and you have the stripe going all the way up the fingerboard. Really lovely take on a traditional design, going up to the Ohana headstock with, are they Goto? With unbranded geared tuners. I think they're probably made by Grover, to be honest with you. They're very similar, with kidney bean buttons, so a different shaped button to your standard Ohana. What this shows me is that Ohana are they're really taking every detail of these ukuleles and making them count. And this isn't a new model. We've been doing this on and off for over 10 years. But every time I look at it on the wall, I think, yeah, they really did that right. And nobody else has really done it before or since. An affordable take on an old Martin, but in a tenor size. Let's give the TK39 a play and see what you think. Next up today, let's take a look at the Ohana TK-220G. I have a theory about this ukulele. It launched about 12 months after the Flight Fireball. I think that maybe Ohana saw the Flight Fireball and went, we can do that. And this ukulele, I must admit, is much less well known than the Flight Fireball and other mango variations around that same kind of price. But what you get here is a more traditional design with all of the kind of thicker, darker textures that mango gives. It's definitely got a kind of whimsical, deep feel to it, kind of like a slightly unnerving nursery rhyme. You've got a solid mango body, solid mango top, back and sides. They've picked some really lovely mango for the top on this one. and it has, it looks like walnut binding on the sides to the back, but you have abalone trim on the front here, and an abalone rosette. So it's just regal enough, you know, it doesn't need to look like it's kind of everything's been thrown at it. It's not bling-tastic, but a really well decorated ukulele. You have an Indian rosewood fingerboard with mother of pearl dots. You have the Ohana headstock in mango, which is also bound in abalone with the mother of pearl Ohana inlay. And then you have Grover branded open gear tuners on the back, which to me look exactly the same as the ones on the TK39. There's nothing in feel or texture that's different. So I don't know why some are branded and some aren't. I guess I'll never know. The Ohana tenors have a 36mm nut width, so it's like an old Martin in how they've approached their shape and size, with a quite wide 29mm string spacing at the nut. This is one of the few Ohanas not to come with Ukuleles. For some reason, this one comes with a clear fluorocarbon string, and it sounds better for it, in my opinion. Let's give the TK-220G a play and see what you think. Last up today, let's take a look at a ukulele that's legitimately been hiding from me for the last couple of months. This is the Ohana TK45. When I saw this ukulele on the wall recently, I said to Romeo, why hasn't this sold yet? It's such a good ukulele for the price. And I found out it's because we never listed it on the website. So it's been on the wall and waiting to be photographed and listed on the website for probably quite a long time. This ukulele is curly redwood for the top, with Indian rosewood back and sides. What a combination for the price. Redwood, one of my favourite woods. We did a series with Ukuleles where we took some felled redwood and made a very special ukulele with a similar wood combination to this. But seeing it at a more affordable price is just salivating stuff. Redwood is very similar tonally to cedar, although I quite like the darkness that you get with redwood. I think cedar has a lot of warmth to it, but quite a straight grain typically, whereas the redwood, especially curly redwood like this, it's a bit more complicated. You know, the sound that's coming out of it, I like to think that sound travels in a way that you see. So the really figured pieces of wood, quite often they're a bit quieter than something with straight grain. Does that make sense? I think that's why spruce and cedar, you know, visually usually have very straight grains, and what you get is a very direct sound. What you get here is all the warmth and depth and volume, but it doesn't travel across the room in the same way a classical guitar cedar top would. Instead, what you get is a really confident, poised note that is kind of more for the player than the audience. Hopefully that made sense. You've got an Indian rosewood fingerboard and bridge on this ukulele. That's what it says on the website, although it does look like it's possibly walnut. Really hard to tell with Ohana sometimes. You've got white mother of pearl dots going up to a faceplate made of, I don't know what that faceplate is made of. You'll always get honesty from me. I don't know what the faceplate is made of. Hopefully we'll have that figured out and put in the description by the time you see this. With a white mother of pearl logo. The front binding is mirrored here on the head plate of the ukulele. And then you have gold tuners with black buttons. I should talk about the binding. You have here a rope binding for the front and back. It's more of a herringbone kind of binding to my eye. And it's mirrored there with the rosette. I mean, look at that on the close-up. What a ukulele. So yeah, we've looked now at 3 ukuleles from Ohana that just do something special and something unique. They're things I always try and get. They're made in smaller numbers than a lot of the typical Ohana models, but when we can get them, we always try and feature them. And shame on me for not featuring and seeing that this ukulele hadn't been listed sooner. Let's give the TK45 a play and see what you think. Back in January, Romeo and I got to visit Ohana in Long Beach, California. And we met Brad, the head luthier there, running their custom shop in the USA. And we really got a vibe that Brad is somebody who's kind of looking to do one-off pieces with the ukulele, things that you've not seen before. And I'm going to be featuring Ohana in a video very, very soon based on the big delivery of USA-made Ohanas we've just received. But talking about Ohana's core product and what's made them special for so many years, they're a brand that I think deserve more credit for the rise of the ukulele than they often get. Lewis Wu is just a fantastic historian for the ukulele, really cares about the past of the ukulele, and Ohana have done more than most brands to make affordable copies of these old instruments. You know, a 10-string Martin Tipple from the 1930s. Yeah, Ohana have done that. You know, they also produce fantastic sopranino, sopranissimo ukuleles. They do baritone tenors. They do things that other people are not trying. And I really hope that if you see an Ohana on the wall in a shop, you give one a play and you might well fall in love. That's about it for me today, though, folks. If you have any questions, please do let me know in the comments section or contact us in store on 01202 430 820 or email me at alex@ukulele.co.uk. I will be back very, very soon. But for now, thanks for watching.